Hey everybody, it's PJ from Wisconsin Airgunners, and we just finished up a crazy day of iguana pest control. We're down here in southern Florida where they are a massively invasive problem. We've met neighbors who've thanked us, HOA members who've thanked us for coming into their place. Met some officers today who were thankful, and actually one of them was like, you guys got to come over to my house. I got a big problem in the backyard that I don't have time to take care of. So we were working along a bunch of canals out in what is FWC property. We're with a guide today, Harold from Iguana Solutions, and just had a great time. Got a lot of really good shots, and hope that you enjoy seeing a couple of the ones we took. This is my second trip into South Florida iguana territory, and this time out, once again, I'm shooting my FX Impact. It's an M3 in 22 caliber, and on this trip I'm shooting the Nielsen Specialty Ammo 28.5 grain 22 caliber slugs at 970 feet per second. This trip was made possible by and taken with my friends from Donnie FL, with support by Sabre Tactical. The trip from Donnie FL headquarters was 2.5 to 3 hours, and our first stop was to see and finally meet in person a longtime friend and collaborator of mine, Orion the Iguana Hunter. Now, let me tell you, it was awesome for us to finally get an opportunity to meet in person and to talk a little bit about his shop and some of the work he does behind the scenes. And the only thing that would have made this better is if Orion could have gone out on the hunt with us. And unfortunately, just the timing didn't work out. And so from the Donnie FL crew, it was myself, Izzy, Travis, and Clark. And we made it a great time, even though Orion couldn't be there with us. This is Harold. He's the Iguana Guy 305, also Iguana Solutions on Instagram, and he was our guide for the day. And here he's about to do one of the most important things, and that is notify the police of where we're going to be and what we're doing.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm trying to get transferred to dispatch. Oh, thank you very much. Hello, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
My name is Harold with Iguana Lifestyles, and I just want to call myself in. I'm going to be on the canal just north of Sunrise and right on University. We're going to be...
What color shirt you wearing?
I am wearing a bright green long sleeve shirt with a big iguana on it, and it has a bullseye on it. I also have two other gentlemen wearing two long sleeve camel shirts, and one gentleman with a blue shirt that says the pellet shop.
Lizzie's wearing a gray shirt.
And I got one. I'm sorry?
What's your name?
My name is Harold, and my contact number is 786
555 5555.
Okay, so it's 4 of you guys or 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One other gentleman's wearing a gray short sleeve shirt with tacky khaki pants.
Okay, I'll go ahead and notate that. Thank you. How long are you going to be out there for?
At this particular spot, probably just an hour.
Okay, put in a call. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Clark had not ever had an opportunity to get out and shoot an iguana, so I didn't even take my gun off safe until I knew he had one in the bag. And here's the recovery on his first ever iguana.
They're getting
Dome.
bigger. They're getting
Dome.
bigger.
What's that, bro?
I like
It was a great shot. Clark was shooting his AEA HP. I think it was in 22 caliber. Really nice placement, and the iguana just went right down on the spot. Izzy was out with his 22 caliber Maverick, and Travis was out also shooting a 22 caliber. So pretty much all day we were shooting the 22s, just with different projectiles. Don't let that smile fool you. Izzy was having a really good time. Come to Papa, buddy. Just 2 more steps and this guy would have been right in my sights. And I was really hoping I could get the shot on this guy. But that's the thing when you're shooting with a group. The reality was somebody else had a better angle on him, and they took the shots and knocked him out. But he gets caught up in the branches, which gives me a little opportunity to film the finish. While there were some long shots on the day, a lot of the shots, especially early, were very close up. In fact, some like this one were even inside of 10 yards and therefore a little bit hard to get my Element Optics Nexus to parallax down that far. This guy was kind of interesting. He took the shot down into the fork of this tree, and then he actually climbs up the opposite fork, and I wind up with what's actually a significantly better shot on him once he finally settles. Let's take a look at that.
Welcome to Florida showers, people.
Apparently it rains here occasionally in South Florida.
Yeah.
So here's a little botany lesson for you. What's this one called?
It's called a sable palm, also known as cabbage palm.
We're hiding under a sable palm, cabbage palm. Right now it's an umbrella palm as far as I'm concerned. It's really coming down here. We got a half dozen iguanas in the bag. So it's a good hunt so far, just kind of dodging the storms as they blow through and hoping for another sustained, I guess we'll call it today a patch of sunshine.
Correct.
Because that's really when they like to come out, sun themselves, soak up some heat, and we'll show you how it goes.
Stay tuned. It's going to be exciting.
So this isn't a funky filter. This is just what intense humidity and a sudden downpour will do to your scope cam system. So throwing this in here because it was a really nice shot. But trust me, the footage will get better from this.
Good one, brother. Hold it in like a sack of taters right there, Travis.
Setting up shots like this take a lot of care and consideration. First of all, he's shooting pellets. Second of all, he's got to make sure he can line up the iguana with a solid and bigger backstop behind it so that if he happens to miss or if there's pass-through, the pellet is going into something like the tree and not flying off into the neighborhood across the canal. In this case, Travis has 2 spotters making sure that he's only taking the shot at exactly the right time, at exactly the right angle. If at any time a spotter calls off the shot, that's it. There's no shot. We did a fair amount of shooting at that location and talked to a couple of really nice people. But as we got to the end of that permission, it was time to move on. We went to our next location and really drove through quite a downpour. This is the parking area next to the canal, and it was filled with about 8 to 10 inches of water. Despite calling ourselves in to local law enforcement, several citizen calls were made, which put officers in a really challenging situation in as much as we were doing something completely legal, but there were area residents who didn't like it. So we didn't spend a lot of time there, and instead went to another location which was a little less populated, at least by people. And by that I mean there were plenty of iguanas. Sometimes all you really need is a follow-up shot. This area was significantly more wide open, and there were plenty of opportunities for long shots, which was perfect for the FX Impact in 22 setup for slug shooting. I made what I thought were a couple of really good shots at medium to long range. This one was at about 60 yards, and for what it's worth, almost all of these shots were offhand. Of course, there were some close-up shots too. I actually think this guy thought I couldn't see him because he was hiding in the water. What's the hashtag for Element Optics? See it, send it? Here's another close one. And in all seriousness, these are fairly hard to spot sometimes. It was great to be able to have a second outing within a year, because I was able to develop sort of an eye for what to look for. So here's something I hadn't seen before. As I looked through the scope, I could tell that this lizard was not an iguana. It was something totally different. And I wasn't sure what it was, or whether it was a shoot or a not shoot. And then it did this. That's a Jesus lizard. And you can shoot those. Next time, I'll get them. In the midst of all the lizards, I saw something I was very familiar with. Feral pigeons. This trio just kind of kept playing with us about 90 or more yards ahead of us, and every time we'd advance, they'd move a little farther, and finally, I decided I'd had enough and took the shot. Hopefully you'll agree that's not too bad for an offhand shot at that distance. The ferals in Miami aren't quite as big as the Wisconsin ferals I'm used to shooting, but you can really only pass up a shot like that so many times. It was great to have Izzy with. He was willing to do a couple of these retrievals for us. Most of the shooting I've recorded in this video has been me, but I certainly wasn't the only one connecting with iguanas. Everybody on the trip certainly shot their share, and I think I can speak for everybody in saying that we really had a great time taking care of these invasives. So a lot of people want to know, do these things get eaten? There's a right way and a wrong way to eat them, and our guide here, Harold, is going to show us the right way to clean an iguana so it can be eaten deliciously and safely.
First thing, all you're eating is the back legs and the tail. That's the best part. There's no meat on here. It's all bones. You have a hip bone right here, right along it. I did it too close. That easy. If you go too hard, you're doing it too fast. I already started with this one. And you notice there's no blood. So it's a clean cut. Oh well, sorry.
Okay.
I'm just doing this so I don't dull his knife. So basically this is everything you're gonna eat of an iguana. This is the best part. This is the filet mignon of everything. What you're gonna do here, we don't have time. All you're gonna do is the same thing. You have a little clamp here like I did with the hip bone, cuts right off. I just feel weird I don't have a cutting board. See the other cartilage right there? Bam. Next thing you want to do.
Harold, is this a male or a female?
This looks like a male, even though they're not fully grown yet. These are the femora pores. They will only be little dots if it was a female.
And are there differences in whether you cook, clean, eat, anything you got to do differently, male to female?
Absolutely. On all males, the femora glands needs to be removed out. If not, it will taint your whole meat process. I'm just going fast without a cutting board. It's not trying to cut myself. Then you just shuck it like a, what's it called?
Frog leg.
Frog leg, or what's the other thing called?
Crawfish?
What do you shuck? Oh, a squirrel?
You shuck oysters.
It's dirty. Of course, we want to wash it, but just a piece of chicken bone.
Okay, so then
Where are those pores you have to
those
take out?
glands are on the hide.
On the back, right here. So this is a small one, so they're smaller. If they were bigger, these things are huge. And this is what makes everything taste bad, tardy taste, absolutely disgusting. You do not want to cook this on there. You don't want to boil the meat with this on it. It will change the texture of the meat and just horrible. You can smell it right away too. And then for this, all you would do is that. I usually lift this part up here, or you can do it this way too. Don't want to cut myself.
Use the back. Here we go.
See, almost cut myself. And then the skin takes harder the longer it's been killed as well. The fresher, it'll come right off. It looks ugly because we're in dirt here. Just trying to give you a quick little demonstration. And there you have the meat. You're gonna have, this is like flat steak. Once you cook it, you get into the muscle. So flat piece here, muscle, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Where you see their tail muscle, it's cartilage going like across this way and this way.
So you cut all that out?
Or you eat it like corn.
Okay.
You know, you can cut into little pieces or eat it like corn. Or you can cut it out, which I would do is, you'll feel the bone, then just put your finger right in there and strip it out.
You see the good knife?
Yeah.
Thanks, Harold. Appreciate the
No
tutorial.
problem. I just want to make sure you guys have what's going on. And this can go back in the water.
Well, thanks everybody for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I know we enjoyed doing the shooting. Till the next one, shoot safe, shoot straight, and we'll see you around.